It's probably just that I'm too young to understand this movie. Hamilton was a 2020 recording of the original play with the original cast that was released on Disney Plus on July 3rd. So what did I think about this movie? Well, let's find out. Remember, this is just my opinion. My opinion isn't the right opinion, just my opinion. I would love to hear your opinion. Please just remember that in this review. Thank you. So I was really excited for this movie because I was really curious to see how they would go with taking a play and turning it into cinema with the same lines of dialogue, the same character and camera angles, and some good direction. Let's start off with some of the positives. I find that this movie overall had a great sense of charisma that was portrayed through many of the characters, especially through David Diggs' character of Lafayette and Thomas Jefferson, as well as Jonathan Groff's character of King George, were both portrayed very well, and this show had a really good sense of charisma. Sadly, this isn't a perfect movie. I do have a few flaws with this movie, but I do find some of these emotional scenes wasn't exactly included the most. I find that the pacing of this movie was way too fast in some of the crucial parts or impactful moments. I find that some impactful or emotional scenes would happen, and then they would crack a joke. Like after Hamilton's son died, they were like suffering for like a short amount of time, then they went to something else. It just feel like we didn't have enough time to live on the emotion and how we felt, which is also one of the downsides of a play, which is through a movie you get much more emotion and meaningful lines. As well as I find that this movie repeats a lot of this exposition that we kind of already got going. Like, there's so many reprises of songs in this movie at the start that make you understand one single goal. They're going to revolution. It takes like the first 20 minutes to introduce our full set of characters, react to this, and then the full set of characters will react to it again. It really just repeated stuff. You're like, okay, I understand the plot. It just required quite a bit of exposition, and I could make this movie feel shorter and stretched out as well. As well as, sadly, some of the acting felt like stage. Most of the acting I wasn't the biggest fan of. The acting that I did enjoy was from Jonathan Groff's character. I found was a solid performance. Everyone else could feel a bit like you aren't transported into the world. As well as the rise of Hamilton, I find should have been explored quite a bit more, and it makes some of these impactful scenes feel less earned, because you were just running through the plot without time to really make sense of it. You're like, okay, that makes sense. Or really time to react to what's happening with these characters. I just find that this movie wasn't meant as a film. Times it could feel like it was a Wikipedia page of a synopsis of this movie, because it didn't have any lines of dialogue. Everything is told through singing, so it could feel the Wikipedia page being read in singing voices. And then Wikipedia pages of a synopsis of a movie, they don't last on certain things long at all. It's really short, so I found the same thing happened in this movie. A lot of the impactful scenes, they don't think we nearly have enough to make sense of it or really understand the premise, because everything's just going by so fast and you're just told what's happening, so it makes quite a bit of stuff feel unearned. And I find like at certain times in certain arcs there was a gap missing, like especially in Hamilton's rise to power, that happened way too fast and I find should have been explored more, which is funny that I say that, because I find that this movie had quite a bit of repetition of him wanting power, but not him actually going through the steps to get it. We were just told what we are supposed to feel without actually seeing it, so it's hard for us to understand what these characters are going through, which is one of the downsides of this movie and the format that they decided to make this movie into. Because in a movie you have each little piece that contributes to Hamilton's rise. Here it just kind of tells you the state of our characters. It also required a lot of exposition. Overall, sadly, I was quite a bit disappointed by Hamilton. I'll give Hamilton a C-. I feel a different way about this film that a lot of people do. don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks. Bye. See you later.